Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is episode number 283, and this week we have Roy Cathey from the band The Fifth. How are you doing, Roy?
Good evening, fellas. How's it going?
Pretty good. You are promoting an EP, and your band members are Justin Womble, Jake Tripp, and Gary Zeus Smith. Talk about it for us.
Man, I'm really excited about this new EP. I've had the band going since 2001. And I've been fortunate enough to have several different members come and go, as many bands that have been together that long have, had. But this is my dream lineup. This is the lineup that I've always, wanted. I've got stellar musicians. I've got a great vibe in the band. The chemistry is there. And I think it comes through on the new EP. There's a lot of energy, a lot of good tunes on it, and we wanted to get it out. And we're already working on the follow-up. So excited, very excited about it.
Cool. It is definitely some good tunes, man.
Very much so. I like them.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So what about this lineup compared to the other lineups is so different?
Well, being from southeastern North Carolina, where the band is based, you have a certain talent pool that you have to choose from. And through the years, I made the best of the musicians that I had around me at the time. And as the band continued to grow and progress, and I guess earn the respect and the notoriety on the local scene, and also getting the chance to tour Japan in 2008, you kind of go up the chart a little bit with other musicians and stuff. So as the thing has progressed, I've been able to get great guys whenever we've lost a member. And right now, I can honestly say, like I said before, this is all guns blazing with this lineup for sure.
Cool. Yeah. So did everybody that's on the singles, on the EP, is that the band that is currently out doing shows or whatever you guys are doing?
Correct. The band that is on the EP, the current lineup, the current touring lineup is Jake Tripp, Justin Womble, Gary Zeus Smith, and myself.
Cool.
Hold on,
So how long did it take you? Who wrote the songs? Are they your songs, and then you guys kind of worked on them together, or was it a group effort? Or tell us about that a little bit.
Well, basically, Justin Womble, my guitarist, is a hell of a songwriter, and basically, Justin comes with me with the riffs and a pretty general arrangement of the song, and I do my mojo. I put my lyrics, I put my melodies to it. I make a couple of arrangement suggestions. So it's a collaborative effort. Everybody gets in the room and hashes it out all together. But the initial ideas and general nucleus of the song start with me and Justin, the guitarist.
So do you guys, are you tour this EP, or are you out playing clubs every weekend, or are you just more of a recording phase, or was it a recording phase, or?
Well, as you know, with COVID,
Yeah.
It's been difficult to get the shows. Things are starting to open up a little bit more. It's been difficult, man. I've had a lot of cool stuff happening for me, like in 2020, right before COVID hit, and it kind of course, put the brakes on things. So as we stand right now with the new EP out, we're making contacts with some agencies. We've got a little mini tour getting ready to go through South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida in a couple of months. So things are starting to open up a little bit for us. It's tough to put tours together for bands like us that are at a mid-national, baby national stage, because from state to state, the COVID regulations are different, from county to county, from venue to venue. So whenever you start trying to route a little tour together, it's even more difficult than it already. Come on.
Right. So you guys are basically just touring right now, East Coast, just up and down the East Coast then?
Well, we've been fortunate enough, we've been invited to do several festivals and stuff like that, like in Illinois. We've gone to do some festivals in Denver. We've gone to do some, larger live events around the East Coast and stuff. We have traveled. We've done several fly-in, fly-out dates at some festivals and stuff like that. This band has more of a national following than just a southeastern region following. I think a lot of that has to do with my background with like Cold Sweat and the national attention that band had, and that branches out into the fifth land. So
gotcha.
Well, the lead single on your EP was Shake Little Sister. Was there any inspiration behind that?
Yes,
song?
sir. Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, strippers.
That's a simple, that's straight to the point, isn't it?
There's no pulling punches there, buddy. Boom. That's it. Move on.
You gotta work. You gotta work.
I mean, with me, you go with what you know. And I spent 19 years behind the mic and DJing in various gentlemen's clubs. And, it's the energy of the song. The video is coming out Halloween. The video is off the chain. It's basically, let me just say, it's Motley Crue Girls, 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 Volume 2. So it's basically, it's balls out party. It's like, here we are, we're coming into your town. We're going to, we're going to rape and pillage and have a damn good time, and the director, Jaden Frost, he when we first met and we started talking about doing the video, he made a really great point. And he was like, Roy, he goes, they're not making rock stars anymore. He goes, they're just not making rock stars anymore. He goes, and they're not making videos for rock stars anymore. He goes, so what we want to do with this one from the song, I want to make a 80s influenced party rock video like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. And I'm like, bet, let's do it. And that's exactly how it's turned out. And, the single and the video are going to kind of go hand in hand with one another. But basically the song is about, it's about the rock band coming into town, raising hell and party one night.
Very cool. I run a internet radio station with a couple of friends, and we've been playing that song for the past several weeks. And one of my co-owners, his name is Bill, and we call those Bill Elam bangers. So
that
song is done well on our station. Yeah.
Sounds like an appropriate
title
there.
So I assume that the video will be
absolutely.
No, I assume that the video will be on YouTube and on your website also then whenever it comes out.
Yeah, the video will be on YouTube, all our social media platforms. Our management is planning on really trying to get as much airplay as possible over in the UK, overseas and stuff, because this is going to be one of those videos. This director is one of those guys that's done a couple of independent films. He's one of those guys that takes songs and turns them into mini movies. So it's got that kind of vibe. It's almost got that kind of like CSI kind of vibe to it. It's not just the average rock video. I mean, it's a rock video and everything, but you know what I mean? It's got a certain amount of je ne sais quoi to it, you know.
I was going to say balls, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's great. So you guys, so this is for this band, this is your first EP that you're putting out then, as far as recordings wise?
Well, you know, well, with this lineup, yes.
Okay.
And as I said previously, you know, I put it together in 2001 when I first moved back to North Carolina. I lived in Los Angeles for several years during the cold sweat experience. I moved to Atlanta for a couple of years. And then when I moved back here to North Carolina, I put the fifth together. So this is the first release in quite some time for the fifth, because of the numerous member changes. And, you know, I won't go into each and every one, but man, come on, you guys know how rock and roll is. So one guy is a head case, one guy might have some, you know, issues. One guy gets a job and moves away. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of go with the punches. And unfortunately, the way things have been going over the past couple of years, I would get it up to a point and then something would happen and you got to start all over again. But I got the boys now. They got my back. We're all on the same page. We've released a great EP and the vibe is good, man. And the early response and reaction to the EP is overwhelmingly positive, and we're very thankful and grateful for that.
That's good, because they've said for years, you know, a two-way marriage is hard enough to do it. And you get four people in a situation like that. It's volatile. I mean, you have to find that right combination. You know.
Well, it is, but you know, I will be the first to admit, you know, the fifth is my baby. You know, the fifth is the band that I put together. You know, it's kind of like it's my version of Whitesnake. You know what I mean? It's like I'm always going to have great members. I've been fronting it since the beginning, but this is the one that I want to take me over the finish line. This is the lineup that I've been working for all these years, and this is the one that's going to take me over the top. And I couldn't ask for a better great group of guys, man. Just great musicians, great people, and this is a team effort in every sense of the word. So
Roy, do you play as well as front the band, or are you just fronting? Are you just singing?
I am just the singer, lyricist, melodies. You know, I run around on stage,
cool.
and I look good in fancy pants and stuff.
I didn't mean it to sound the way it did. I was trying to word it. I was like, I just jacked it up for sure.
It's fine, man. You know, I mean, it's like I am a proud front man. I'm like a dying breed kind of front man. I'm the kind of guy that you'll go see the fifth play, and when the song ends, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to bring you in. And you may be on the edge of wanting to be a fan, but I'm going to make sure that you are one by the end. And I'm a very interactive front man. So, you know, in a lot of ways, a good front man can carry a show and make a rock show very much more entertaining. Just like the gentleman of the band that you're, you know, behind you, Kiss, Paul Stanley, great front man. You know, a great front man can carry a show. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of what I've honed my skills at all through the years. And also I'd like to consider myself to be like a singer's singer. I'm one of those guys that when you go see me live, I'm going to sound just like the CD, if not better. And I've always taken it very seriously. You know, singing to me has always been like a contact sport. You know, to me, rock and roll is a contact sport.
So who are some of your Go ahead.
Voice is one of those instruments that, you know, if you screw that up, you can't replace it.
No, you cannot. And, you know, not throwing shade at anybody, but I think we know there's a couple of guys out there from the 80s era that, you know, should be hanging it up, you know. So I know I ain't calling no shade over there, you know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, you know, for me, the biggest thing for me, especially as a singer and stuff like that, man, it's hard for me to sit through watching some of these guys that are still out there making a living off of their heyday. And I mean, Kiss is a whole other beast. You know what I mean? They're legendary status. But you've got some other guys out there that aren't near that legendary status, that still really think that it's the 80s, and they're out there just, mailing it in and have no business being up there. And yeah, damn it, I take a little offense to that, because I take the shit seriously. I do. So it's that competitive Southern nature in me, goddammit. I played too many sports growing up.
Nothing wrong with that. So who are some of your influences then? I mean, when you think of frontmen, who is your idol frontman?
Billy.
The greatest frontman, the greatest all-around frontman, hands down, in my opinion, is Freddie Mercury of Queen. I don't think that there's anybody that could touch him. Musically, the guy could play guitar, he could play keyboards, he could write music. Vocally, he had a vocal range and style all his own. His command of the audience and the stage, just unparalleled. On the other end of the spectrum, I love David Lee Roth. I thought that he was a fantastic frontman. When you start getting into pure vocalists, I was always a huge Rob Halford fan. Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, Ronnie James Dio. I was, and still am, a metal kid. I grew up cutting my teeth on that stuff, and that's where my heart lies. And for me, there's some just incredible metal singers out there, like Rob Halford. I went and saw Rob Halford like last month, second row, 70 years old, in prostate cancer remission, and the guy is just fucking slaying it. And what note that he didn't hit that was just like in the 70s, he at least put forth a fucking effort to do something. You know what I mean? And he still loves being up there and doing it. And I respect that. So for me, I've always been like the metal guy. But, I love all type of singing and vocalists, from Queen to the Priest to the, the Jeff Tates and all that stuff. So those are my guys.
Cool. Like you can tell. I mean, I think it's in the EP. I mean, I was just, we get stuff sent to us sometimes, and you get it, and it's just like, listen to the first song, you're like, I can't do another song. Actually, I can't get through this song. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get through 4 or 6 more or whatever. But actually, I thought I wasn't sure what your role was. So that was the interesting part too.
I enjoyed yours.
Yeah. But I thought the vocals on it are great. I think it's a really good, all the songs on it are really good songs. I mean, they're good songs that, it'd be great to see those played in a club or played somewhere live. I'd like to see those. That's right. I think nowadays, it's good to find that, because you can find bands sometimes that have maybe one good song or two, and then after that you get this kind of a drop. Mm-hmm. But lately we've been pretty lucky. We've run into a couple of good bands that are newer, that are just playing really, really good stuff. So it's cool, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much. There are some great bands out there. You got to dig for it now. You know what I mean? The labels aren't doing their job, and they haven't for decades. And if it wasn't for guys like you guys, these types of shows, these internet shows, you guys are the ones that are the grassroots. You guys are the boots on the ground. You guys are the ones that are keeping that fucking rock and roll flag waving while the mainstream radio and stuff like that is kind of ignoring it. Because come on, guys, let's face it, rock and roll We're the fucking redheaded stepchildren of the music industry. Nobody
Yeah.
gives a fuck about rock bands. Okay, let's be fucking real. Here in the United States, fucking they don't give a fucking shit about us. So what I see happening, and this is just, Roy the old guy ranting from his front porch, I think rock and roll is going back to where it's always been. Underground, the fucking outcasts, the fucking weirdos, the fucking ones that are on the fucking fringes of society. Guys like you that are spreading this music and letting people know that this kind of stuff is still happening. Tape delay joke. That punchline, it took me a while. My God, I hope they laugh at that punchline.
It's a dirty job, but we'll take it.
But yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you guys are the boots on the ground. You guys are at the forefront of fighting for this kind of stuff, because rock and roll is just, we're the redheaded stepchildren. If it's not R&B, hip hop, pop, or that god awful fucking thing they're calling country music now, there's really no place for us.
Right.
Maybe you should try to do country hip hop. I heard about that the other day. That's freaking horrible.
Yeah.
God.
No, it's just like
we thought those genres were fixed.
No kidding. No, for us, we're lucky, like I said, to be able to get music like yours sent to us and stuff, because like I said, rock's not dead. We just can't find it. It's hard to get to. No, like I said, radio's not playing anything. And there's a bunch of really great music and bands on the internet, but you got to find them. And it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. And it really sucks, because there's great music out there and you just stumble across it. That's the thing. And with us, we have people that tell us about things, so we'll check them out, or have people that like you send us stuff, and then and then it's like, oh my gosh, where have you guys been? Kind of situation.
Right,
Man,
right.
it's just tough.
Yeah. That happens to us a lot. People are like, where the hell have you guys been? You know what I mean? It's like, East Coast, North Carolina, Southeast. There's great music everywhere, man. Like you said, you just got to dig for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, let me ask you a question. So on the A to Z radio show, do you guys have a segment about new rock bands, or you just throw them in the regular rotation?
We have a segment we call Fresh Cuts.
And is that on every day, or is that programmed
every day at certain, like we have during the work week, no repeat work day from 8 a.m. Eastern till about 4:45 Eastern. And at the bottom of every hour, we play a new song from a different artist.
Okay.
And it may be an indie artist like The Fifth. It may be one of those god awful country bands, or it may be hip hop, because our station plays everything.
Right.
But we do look for stuff like that, and we try to keep. We know they're not getting radio play on terrestrial stations because Clear owns it all, and they're jackwagons.
Well, they're playing the same 27
channel,
songs every.
And that's something
And
else that we don't do. We do not
let-
play the same 20.
Yeah, and let me say the whole thing about country, because I just got finished coming back from Nashville at the Rock and Pop and everything.
We were there.
Nashville is a great city. It is. We were all there. Nashville is a great city. It's just, I don't understand how it's some kind of relationship between the songwriters and the labels getting together and picking these songs, and then the labels going, okay, this guy's going to do this song and this guy's going to do that song, while they kind of tend to ignore the real country artists that are really out there writing their own stuff, or is like putting forth a really authentic country vibe and sound instead of this overly commercialized version that's out now. That's my thing with Nashville and country music, because I grew up on Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, the Redheaded Stranger, that kind of country music, so I got respect for that, for the outlaw country, the guys that are out there being real singer-songwriter guys.
Well, that's the problem with some of that newer country.
So don't come at me.
Right. That's the problem with the newer country is I think it is, like you said, it isn't a bunch of people, writing their own stuff. You got suits in a room, writing these material. They say, well, here's so and so's newest song. Just throw them at it. It's a cookie cutter factory is what it is, and they're out just to make hits. They're trying to make hits. There's no feeling in it. It's just songs, a bunch of written words, and then here, go record this.
And isn't that what they accused of the 80s toward the end there with the hair metal glut before grunge? Didn't they accuse hair metal bands of the same exact thing?
Well, it's happened in every
country music.
Yeah, it's happening in every genre, right? I mean, it's happened in country, at different times, right? Because you had the outlaw era.
Sure.
Hank Jr., Johnny Cash, all those guys were, Merle Haggard. It was all the similar type. Then you had that 80s country where every band was a harmony band. There was, everybody sounded similar. I mean, and we all do it, right? They do it in rock too. The Beatles came along, and then there were a bunch of bands that sounded. So it's kind of weird, but it's just weird. Some of the mixes of what, we were talking about it earlier have come across, but it's good. And it's like, I think it happens in all music that you go through these waves, right?
You get trends like disco.
Trends,
disco was a trend, and then everybody, including Kiss, had to ride a fucking
on the bandwagon, right? Yeah. If you want to know what's something interesting about country music, though, I mean, I know this is not there's a documentary on Netflix, Amazon, I think it was Amazon Prime, called "It Begins with a Song," and it's about the songwriters and about those guys and what they're doing. You got to watch that. It's really very interesting. Just about how the industry works and how the wheel turns. And I know that's not what we were talking about tonight, but it's kind of a cool conversation.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It is a fascinating industry. Nashville is its own, microcosm and universe. So
actually, I was in Nashville on Thursday and spent the evening in a rock bar, downtown, 2 blocks off Bourbon Street, wrong city.
Yeah.
I was down there for a bourbon thing, but anyway, but 2 blocks off Broadway, there's a rock bar called Bowie's, and they were playing some serious metal in there. And it was pretty cool. It was cool to be downtown, and we walked from a country bar that we were just hanging out in, having some drinks. And I'm like, hey, I found out about this bar. So we walked down there, and it's like, got some metal on, then went back down to Broadway again. So it's nice to see that happening, 2 blocks off Broadway, not like you got to take a taxi to get there. So it's a little more infestation.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. And, I'm telling you, man, going back to my original point, I think that rock and roll is more and more becoming that underground, from the streets, misfit kind of music. And I think, if the industry's smart, they'll start picking up on that a little bit and start putting their fingers on the pulse of the rock and roll community that's out there hustling all over the country. You got my band in the South. I know guys up north. I mean, all over hustling, so much respect.
Cool.
Good deal.
Let's circle back to your EP. Talk about the other 4 songs on there. Are they all about strippers as well?
Well,
yeah.
No. I wouldn't have a girlfriend. If they were all about strippers. Trust me. I try and write a lot in the third person. I try and write as almost like I'm watching a movie soundtrack. So Calm Before the Storm is kind of like our Earth awareness song. It's pretty much like our message to say, listen to what Mother Earth is saying, because there's bad things coming on the horizon if we don't start taking things more seriously now. Home is unabashedly a power ballad. We wrapped our arms around the genre of hair metal because we were also greatly influenced by it, especially myself, since I'm the old geezer of the band. And we wrote a power ballad. and we didn't try and make it a modern rock power ballad. We wrote a fucking power ballad, and it is fucking awesome. Right down to the Striper ahs, we've got the big chorus ahs and everything. Coming to Get You is just, man, that's kind of like my tip of the hat of Chris Cornell and that Audio Slave kind of vibe. That's just kind of like a straight ahead rocker. And the final song, Roll the Bones, is once again harkening back to just a good romping, stomping 80s song. It's about a bunch of guys going out and partying with their boys in Vegas. And I mean, a lot of people, the main thing that they're saying is just they hate that it's only 5 songs. But we wanted to harness the energy and the good vibes that the band has right now. We know the fans have been waiting for stuff for a long, long time, so we wanted to go ahead and throw them a little teaser, let everybody know that we're writing right now for a full length. And, we're just, like I said earlier, we're really thrilled with the initial response. So.
Hey, Roy, I got one last question for you here before we get off here. Who did the cover? The cover for this is freaking awesome.
It does look cool. I like
the
that
skull, the skeleton with the hat, with the fedora and the shirt and tie, throwing the ace with the V. That is who did that? Who designed that?
Right. That is a artist from Italy named Nello, and that's Nello. And I always pronounce his last name wrong, but it's like Delamio, something of that nature. But he is literally from Italy. I think he's right outside of Naples somewhere. And he is an incredibly talented artist. He's done several album covers for some artists for Frontiers Records. And I came in contact with him through, he did the album cover for a project that I'm involved with called Steel City, that I was at the Rockin' Pod for. So Nello did the artwork for the Steel City, and that made me reach out for him to do the artwork on the 5th. And man, he is dynamite. I mean, just dynamite.
So did you give him some ideas for the art?
We just gave him free reign to do whatever.
Oh, just free reign and said, here, just okay. I didn't know if you said, man, we want to, we want a skeleton, maybe some, put that together, but
no, cool. we said we wanted something edgy. We wanted something edgy. And that was pretty much the parameters that we gave him. We wanted edgy. We wanted street. We wanted something, eye-catching.
Badass.
I told him, I said, I want something that, pretty much make it badass. And I told him I said, look, when I was a teenager and I picked up Iron Maiden Killers, I was like, fuck, dude. That's what I wanted this album cover to be. I wanted that same effect. I wanted, people to see it and be like, I don't know who these guys are or how they sound. I'm going to listen to it just because that album cover looks pretty fucking wicked.
That is cool. Hey man, where can people find you online? Where are your locations at online?
We have the typical Facebook page, but you could type in the 5th and you could find us. We also have an Instagram. We're about to start one of those TikTok things that the kids like. We're in the process of getting our own website together. But those are the social media platforms that we have right now is Facebook and Instagram. So.
Okay. Well, cool. Good. Well, and then when you do get a website, just let us know when you get it up. Let us know, and we can put it on our page and spread the news for everybody.
He says that to all the guys.
Yeah.
We don't let him on here very often.
Just let me know, and send me your social security number, and
he's trying to get out of that.
Debit card.
Yeah. There you go.
Cool.
All right, well, Roy, we're going to get off of here. Thank you for your time. Hang tight while I take us out of here. You folks know the deal. Go to agesofrock.com, check out our
All right,
socials and past episodes. And until next time, peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.